Sovereignty is indeed a fundamental issue. Our Declaration of Independence proclaimed our independence from kings and foreign control, and that's a synonym for sovereignty. We want to have self-government by our elected representatives. There are three classes of people who are attacking our sovereignty today. The first class is those corrupt dictators around the world who hate and envy us. We know about them. We don't need to spend time talking about them. But the second group that is working against our sovereignty is a cult of people in this country who are working for world government. And they do this openly. They are against sovereignty. We know that Clinton's chief foreign policy advisor, Strobe Talbot, wrote in Time magazine that sovereignty was over. Nation-states era was past. We will have world government. And Madeleine Albright spoke against sovereignty. And some Republicans. There was once a Republican congressman named John Anderson. You don't remember him. But he ran on the third-party ticket in 1980 to try to defeat Ronald Reagan. Fortunately, he failed. But after that, he became the president of the United World Federalists to try to get us into world federalism. And he had a lot of secret help. Walter Cronkite used to be the biggest man in media. And when he retired from CBS, he immediately started fundraising for world federalism. And the World Federalist Society gave him a special award for being a lifelong advocate of world government. And Hillary Clinton paid tribute to him on that occasion. Now, the people who are working for world government and against sovereignty are now trying to build the United Nations into a vehicle for world government. The United Nations does recognize the sovereignty of individual nation states. We do have the veto. They're trying to get rid of that. And Bill Clinton used to talk about enmeshing us in a web of treaties. That was his word. He fortunately didn't get most of the treaties he wanted. He didn't get the UN Treaty on the Rights of the Child, which would have enabled the UN to appoint attorneys so that children could file suit against their parents. Nor did he get the UN Treaty on Women, which had a monitoring committee to review our textbooks to make them comport with feminist semantics. But the worst of all these UN treaties is the United Nations Treaty on the Law of the Sea, which is a direct attack on our sovereignty. And Cliff Kincaid is going to tell you the specifics about that, but I can tell you Ronald Reagan was against it and still would be against it, and it would give these bureaucrats in Jamaica control over all of the oceans and the minerals under the sea and even be able to tax us. Now, there's a third group of people who are working against our sovereignty, and that is the multinationals, who want open borders, who want the free movement of goods, capital, and people across national boundaries. They really don't like national boundaries because they want to be able to move everything easily across those boundaries. And they find the boundaries just simply get in the way. And why do they want that? They want to have access to the cheap labor in other countries where people are not paid anything like the wages we have in this country. Now, they really can't achieve this goal through treaties, which take a 2/3 vote in the Senate. So they are pursuing their goal primarily through trade agreements, which bypass the Senate 2/3 treaty requirement and are somehow snuck through the Congress under a fast-track system which doesn't even allow much debate.